These videos are uploaded in the order in which the books were written. The Girl is a short backstory about Kelsey, who will continue to appear in the series. Soon, I will be uploading the prequel books titled The Beginning and The Atlantis Cure. The prequels are important to the conclusion of the series. Thank you for listening.
The Girl, Kelsey's Story. A Sanctuary's Aggression Short Story. Chapter 1. Fenton. No one walking the streets of Fenton, West Virginia in July would have recognized it come September. Known as number 5 on Best Living's top 10 most beautiful cities of the South, it was a jewel set among the beauty of the Appalachian Mountains. Since the outbreak, it was something else altogether. Abandoned vehicles littered the street. Some parked, one or more doors ajar, along sidewalks as if the drivers stopped, hopped out for an errand and never came back. Most vehicles, though, offered no rhyme or reason to the way they were left. Cars and trucks crossed lines, lanes, and even walkways. Windshields and windows were cracked. Sometimes doors were completely missing. The intersection of 5th and Elm held the site of an accident that would stay forever memorialized on this street. Below an unlit traffic light, a smashed smart car was under a crushed SUV that was under a semi, the remains of the drivers still in their seats. If a person could pull away and view the streets from above, they would find the once bustling city almost empty of any healthy humans. A few huddled in what they hoped would be safe places. Others preyed on them. Through this chaos, one lonely girl picked her way through the ruined road, forlorn and despondent. Her hodgepodge of stained clothes too large for the small frame she inherited from her Asian grandmother. Her brown curly hair, once her pride, scraped back off her face, unwashed and limp. Not long ago, a walk down this fashionable street would have been a pleasant and eagerly anticipated outing for her, but not today. Now, she walked with slow, careful steps, her eyes alert and her body tense for the dangers awaiting her. Death couldn't come quick enough. It happened to everyone. Why couldn't it just do it and be done with her? She cursed her instincts, the ones that took hold when danger wrapped its long arms around her. They had her fighting, running, trying to save her pitiful life. She wished they would stop. At the infamous intersection, she peeked around the stack of cars. She was alone. Always make certain you're safe, Kelsey. Check as many times as you need to. It was his voice she heard when she struggled to live, her dad's. He had taught her safety before all this started, and continued to instruct her after. Kelsey did as he advised and checked again before continuing down the deserted road. She peeked into the wrecked vehicles as she did each time she walked this road. Where were all the drivers? Did they get sick and just walk away? It was a mystery she would never solve. A few of the vehicles still carried their decayed, stinking passengers. For these, Kelsey held her nose and stepped a bit faster. Reaching the end, she slowed, dragging one foot in front of the other. Her boot disturbed the dust on the road. She let out a deep sigh. Every day she walked a few blocks around the city and made sure her little nest was safe while looking for some way out of this place. But each lap left her with less and less hope. I was done with all this long ago. An eerie wind whistled through the open doors and windows of the downtown buildings, pulling curtains from their window casements. The tattered cloth waved at Kelsey in the same way a shredded flag waves surrender on a battlefield. I'm not the one to surrender to, I've already given up. Kelsey's overlarge cowboy boots scuffed along the road. Little puffs of dust scattered into the wind behind her. Though the sound seemed insignificant, there was a slight echo from the silent city walls. It's so noisy. I can't hear anything she's saying. For a moment, her friends walked beside her. She shook her head. This happened too often lately. No. They're not here. No one is here with you. Don't think of that, think of the shoes. Kelsey glanced down at the red leather boots she had taken from the looted store. The already smashed window lured her with its easy pickings. Still, she felt guilty about taking them, regardless of her need. She'd grabbed the first pair she saw and ran as if there were someone still around who cared, and now she paid for it. They were too big for her small feet, so she scoffed. Better than stepping barefoot on all the glass. At least my feet are healing now. She reached down and pulled on the top of the boots, running her hand down the smooth leather. Since her family had moved here, she'd harped on them to buy her a pair of boots. Nothing even as grand as these. To have the shoes now and not them made her stomach hurt. Maybe I'll look for something else today. She wouldn't. Every day she thought it, and instead each day she wandered through the empty streets picking at garbage and scavenging food whenever she could, her emotionless face showing little connection with this world. The scrape of metal on metal echoed down the road. Trembling, Kelsey ducked behind a car waiting for the next sound. How close were they? Did she have time to run? She couldn't let them catch her again. Crouching behind a Chevy, she peeked up through the bottom edge of a cracked window. Her gaze darted left to right and back again. No one. Maybe. Kelsey scrambled onto the hood of the car and scanned the area. When she was satisfied, she continued her journey. An unfamiliar garbage pile caught her eye. Perhaps there was something good in it. Leisurely, she picked through the trash, tossing aside what she didn't want and putting what she considered valuable in a small shopping tote she carried with her. A can of green beans went into the bag. Old rotting vegetable peels tossed to the ground. Thank goodness, she could still be picky, but how long would that last? Kelsey hardly remembered the last time she saw a garbage truck driving through the city. It hadn't taken long for the outbreak to take hold here. A city had too many people in too small of a place, and sicknesses spread quick. After that last green garbage truck, everyone had piled trash in the streets. It wasn't all that bad. It helped her scavenge easier. Breaking into homes would be so much harder. Of course, sometimes she came across a body in the piles. Kelsey shuddered. She picked at something in the garbage heap. Halfway through the stack was the sharp corner of what seemed like a book. She put her thin fingers around it and pulled. Nope. Not a book. A diary.